What's going on, guys? It's Rebel Tanker, and welcome back. This is actually going to be a part 2 for my introduction to Axis and Allies 1939. So when I went over the original introduction, I talked about how we were going to have we were adding some units, jet fighters, air transport, self-propelled guns, Marines, and airborne. I figured, and then also updating the tech. So I figured I'd do a quick video going over some of that stuff. So, excuse me. So we'll go over the new units first. So again, new units. So I'll kind of go down the list of what I got. So we have airborne. So airborne units will cost 4. When they make an airborne assault, they can go into the first round attacking at a 2 or less. And then after, if the combat goes past round 1, then they revert back to a 1 like usual, unless they're supported by artillery. They defend at a 2, and then move at a 1, and then can move 1 space. So the bonus for airborne, like I said, is when they make an airborne drop, when they make an airborne assault, they get the first round. They get to attack at 2 on the first round, and then, I mean, if they are supported by ground artillery, then they technically get a boost to 3. Next, since we're going over, and then throughout the videos in the game, you'll kind of see these are the different airborne markers that we have. We have these traditional NATO airborne markers. We have these gray ones. We also have British-specific ones for the British, the Anzacs, and the Far East Command. Might even use them for the French, give or take. And then for the U.S. airborne, I actually have airborne rondels for all the U.S. airborne divisions, so the 13th, the 17th, the 82nd, and 101st. So the 11th, the 13th, the 17th, the 82nd, and the 101st Airborne. Air transports. So air transports, they cost 7. Like sea transports, they don't have an attack value, don't have a defense value. They can go 6 spaces. When they conduct an airborne assault, they can only carry 1 airborne unit. And then say you don't do so that's combat. They can bring 1 airborne unit into a combat zone. There is something you can do on the non-combat with air transports. You can take 1 infantry unit type, and as long as you're going from one airbase to another airbase, you can offload that cargo. So you need an airbase to offload the cargo, so it's best to go from one airbase to another so you can offload the unit right away. Let's see here. Real quick, jets. Well, jets work the same way as they do when you unlock the jet technology in regular 1940, except jets will cost 11, right? They cost the same. Wait. Yeah, jets cost 11. They attack out of 4, defend out of 4, and can go 5 spaces. Self-propelled artillery, those cost 5. Attack on a 2, defend at a 2, and they can go 2 spaces. They're basically 2 special abilities. Is self-propelled artillery can support any 2 infantry units, not just 1 like the standard artillery. So self-propelled can support 2 infantry and give them a +1 to their attack. And then if you pair a mech, or if you pair a self-propelled gun with a mech infantry or a tank, it can blitz. And then finally, Marines. The Marines, once again, they cost 4. Just like the airborne, if the Marines are making an amphibious assault, they get the first round at 2 or less. Unless they're supported by artillery, then they can continue going on, fighting at 2 or less. Or if they're supported by artillery. And then they can move, and then can only move 1 space. And then for Marines, it's either this blue one. We have this Royal Marine marker for the Brits. For the U.S., we do have U.S. Marine Corps division markers. We have the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th Marines, and we also have the Marine Raiders. So we do have those rondels for them. All right, so then we'll go over what the new technology, like what is different about the technologies real quick. And I'll just kind of throw that in there, throw it on top. Okay, so when you unlock advanced artillery, so to do technology, you have to do it in 2 phases. And like I said, you roll 1 die for every major factory, or for 1 major factory, or for every 2 minor factories. To unlock the first stage, you have to succeed on a 4, 5, 6. For stage 2 completion, you got to roll a 5 or a 6. So going over each technology. Advanced artillery. If you unlock that, all artillery and self-propelled artillery hits on a 3 or less. And then regular artillery may support up to 2 classes of infantry. Rockets are the same exact as they are in G40. Paratroopers, what this does is it allows for paratroopers to attack at 2 for all rounds of combat. And then what it also does, it allows you to upgrade your transports, your air transports, to heavy air transports. And heavy air transports are a separate unit. They do cost 10. They still move 6. But they can carry 2 airborne units during an airborne assault. Or on the non-combat, they can carry up to 2 infantry. Or they can carry a single artillery or a single AAA gun from airbase to airbase. Increased factory production is the same. War bonds are the same. Improved mechanized infantry. Basically, it's still the same. Mech infantry can blitz without being paired with a tank. Mech infantry attack on a 2 or less now. And they can be paired with a tank for a +1 combined arms, +1 roll. Coming on to Breakthrough 2, Super Submarines is the same. Submarines attack on a 3. Jet fighters, like I said, allows for jet fighters to be built. And then jet fighters have an interception roll of 2 or less instead of they have an interception roll of 2 or less instead of 1 like fighters and tacticals and strategic bombers. Improved shipyards is the same. Radar, all anti-aircraft guns and facilities hit on a 2 or less, and air bases may scramble unlimited number of interceptors now instead of just 3. Long-range aircraft is the same, and heavy bombers are the same. So that is all the technology. So that's all the technology. And then real quick, just going over stuff. Another quick intro. So I am going to play the Allies. Red Bull Tanker is going to play, I'm Red Bull Tanker. I'm going to play the Allies. Airsoft Commando is going to play the Axis. We are playing the Vichy option, which basically, so for Vichy, if Paris falls on turns 2 or 3, then the Vichy option is enacted, and basically what that means is every French territory and every French ship is rolled for, and on a certain result, it'll either go Free French or it will go Vichy. And basically, Vichy is a form of pro-Axis. So, say Algeria goes Vichy, it'll basically become a pro-Axis neutral with 1 infantry defending it. And then one thing that is kind of true to history, if Germany or Italy ever moves in to activate Vichy France under southern France, that reverts all Vichy territories and units back to the Free French. So there is that. And then if there are any, if any naval ships go Vichy, they all come back to C-Zone 93. And any ships that are in C-Zone 93 when the Axis, if the Axis go into southern France, you'll roll a die for the any Vichy ships that are in harbor, and then under certain conditions, the ship will either be scuttled, captured, or will either be scuttled, go to the Free French, or will be given to the Axis powers. So we are playing the Free French rule. So there's that. Other than that, oh, and then finally, we are going to use this turn order from, again, I believe it is Grasshopper's tournament version. So the new turn order will be Germany, Far East Command or the British Pacific Forces, Japan, the UK, Italy, China, Russia, the US, Anzac, and France. So there'll be a long stretch. So basically, after he goes as Italy, then it'll just be a long chain of me making videos for each of the allied powers. So that is what I'm going to do too. I am going to do individual videos for each allied power that I'm playing. So, especially after Italy, there will be lots of videos. Or I might just like break it up and maybe do like yeah, if anything, maybe I'll do a video. Maybe I'll just break it down. Yeah, if anything, I'll break it down into 2 videos. I'll do, especially once we get to, like I said, once we get past Italy, maybe do one video that covers China and Russia, and then another video that covers the U.S., the Anzacs, and the French. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Got interrupted there for a second. But so yeah, I'm going to do 2 videos at the end here. So altogether, I'll have 1, 2, 3. So there'll be 4 videos per turn as we go through this 1939. All right, well, that's it for now, guys. And we will see you for Far East Command Turn 1. So until then, guys, as always, take care.